This show is officially brought to you by NRG Tree. Check them out if you want to own your own solar. That's NRG Tree.
At nrgtree.com.
Reality,
UFOs,
science,
consciousness.
sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
That might not be a real thing. The podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe and everything else in between, any organisms that are asexual or pansexual, or that's been a hot topic lately of like I was out yesterday at a bar and that was going on, so I want to get into that.
We haven't talked about that at all.
I want to get into
sexual and genders and all that stuff.
I want to get into
we should do that.
I want to get into it a little bit, but today I wanted to do a UFO episode, and the reality is that like other intelligent forms of life might not be as conformed to penises and vaginas, right? Like
they got the hooshie.
They got the hooshie. They got the.
We don't know how to work
thresher
that thing. It takes
and
6
the
months.
Yeah, you take a while to get to
the thresher.
The hooshie takes 6 months to learn.
You got the
thresher. Yeah,
what's the thing?
Thrasher.
The thrasher and the. What's the other piece of that? You want sucked off or pushed in?
My jargon.
The jargon, yeah.
Jesus. My jargon.
Yeah. One of the most
shit.
disturbing scenes,
My kids like South Park now.
South Park.
Oh, man.
My
the
son,
alien
older
thing.
kids, yeah.
I've seen a ton of sci-fi, and I've seen a ton of fucking sexual things with aliens and all kinds of, cartoons, whatever. But nothing really opened my eyes, or I didn't really dive down into Seth MacFarlane actually, the Orville is a fucking great show, okay? And I want to just tell you right now that he's a Star Trek fan. I think he was in Star Trek. I know he was in Star Trek Enterprise, which was one of the last shows from back in that
one of the
era.
last old school shows.
Yeah, before mass, new tech and CGI and stuff.
Now it's totally different.
Yeah, so he produced and stars in the Orville, which was on ABC or NBC or some bullshit. But then it got bought out by Hulu, and so it's got a new title. But that's a really good show, and it pays homage. Is it homage, Macca?
Yes.
It pays homage to Star Trek a ton, in all the good qualities that they were trying to go for. But there's basically a species of alien on the show that are all male. Okay. And so I talked about it a little bit before, but every once in a while there'll be a female born, and it's a huge controversy in the society of this planet where they it's a forced sex change on the female when she's a baby right away with even way more advanced than we would do on a sex change. You know what I mean? And so just other intelligent forms of life may not be, as binary as we are. And, some people think the Greys are just straight asexual clones completely.
People talk about the trans thing sexual orientation and whatever gender and stuff. It's the end all of morals in society. But it's really probably, imagine if aliens just look down and what the fuck do they give a shit about any of this stuff for? It means nothing. You're born a certain way. You couldn't train me to start liking men or not like women. I'm attracted to women. All right.
Heavily right
big
now.
Boobies, little boobies, big ass, little ass. All right.
Pretty much anything that's moving right now.
No, I love my wife.
I know you love your wife. I'm just saying you're attracted to women.
But with a gay guy, you couldn't train that out of him. If you think it's learned, you're a fucking idiot. It's not learned. try to learn to be gay. Like if you're not gay, like
I'll tell you
can't
what.
do it.
I'll tell you what.
Candyman's trying.
Disturbingly enough,
There is a spectrum.
I think nature finds a way because I was in the shower at the Y the other day, and there was this Latino guy in there, and he had an ass like you wouldn't believe.
One of these days,
And I
that
took
story is going to be. So I lubed him up and I blew him.
No, but I just for like 1 second longer than I normally should have or would have, I was looking at this dude's butt like, wow, that's an ass. And then I was like, oh, what are you doing right now, buddy?
Sean,
cool the jets.
This is getting more and more though. Like each time, it's a little bit of attraction, a little bit of a
Slip.
little bit of a slip.
Well, don't.
a little bit more. It's nothing big.
Don't worry about. Well, what if it's just?
Oh, I don't worry at all.
What if it's pheromonal communication and it's not even in any of our control? All right, and that's how. Listen, you kept monkeys. You know how they behave.
You know, the only thing that I get heated about with the trans thing is sports, because I don't feel like if Mike Tyson identified as a woman, he could box women. It's fucking insane.
Yeah,
and
that's
they're
not
fucking
fair.
pummeling women. I'm sorry, I get it. You live as a woman, like I accept you, but you can't compete in their sports. You were born as a man, and you're too strong, and you had to like the testosterone levels have to be anything under 300. Women don't even go over 100. Like, so that means they still have higher testosterone even when they do the medications and stuff. So like, it's just. Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can do it.
It's not a fair advantage.
It's not fair. You're like 6'4", swimming against these little chicks. Like, come on.
It's definitely super complex. Like, what do you do in that?
But I'm not saying that every transgender woman is going to kick the shit out of every woman. Like, there's plenty of women athletes that'll probably still beat them. But like Fallon Fox got knocked out eventually or choked out or something.
We're in a. I bet you Ronda Rousey could take a lot of dudes.
No, yeah, I'm just saying though, like
she couldn't take Tyson
in general. Like, they should be able to keep their sports, and I'm surprised the feminists aren't like up in arms like about this. They're silent.
Well,
I think some are.
As a key feminist on the show, I am for everybody's equal rights.
You wanted to compete in sports against women? No,
I'm not for that. I think that's not
equal
fair.
rights.
I think there could be okay. Here's the thing, right? Like, we're at a developmental point in our evolutional like placiety. Okay, right? Like 10,000 years ago, there was probably varying views on homosexuality, whether it was acceptable, unacceptable. You know, we have historic documents supposedly that like it was acceptable here, there. Greece is world renowned for our homosexuality, right? Like acceptance. But we weren't there. We really don't know. And I think they probably had I mean, I wasn't there, but I think they might have had a less of a differentiation in terms of competition for like when we play sports, we have a weight class, right? Like, they might have just been like, nah, man, these two dudes are going to race and whoever's the fastest wins, right? Oh, and if a girl's in the race too, she's the fastest, she wins, right? They might not have differentiated as much as we do now to make it as fair as possible.
They did it for a reason, though, because
and so now you're crossing that with a time where like everything's on fucking TV, everything's got on the news, everyone has an opinion to chime in on, and really it's a what it is. It's a rapid, turbulent change, right? And any rapid, turbulent change is usually like fucking chaotic and wild. And there's gonna be the boat's gonna rock a little bit. There's gonna be some people that are like, "Hey, this is wrong, man. I'm not ready for this. I was raised this way, right?" And it's like, hey, these people are humans. They have rights. Fucking let them live the way they want to live, right? I don't know what to tell you.
But okay, so in Canada, a guy with a beard, big jack guy, went in and just said, "I'm a woman now. I'm going to beat all the powerlifting records," and he went and did, and they let him because
but that's like
fucking liberal.
That's
about
exploitation. That's like when Johnny Knoxville, that jackass guy.
Yes,
he made the movie where he pretended to be retarded to participate in the Special Olympics so that he could win it. You know what I mean?
I've been actually following the Paralympics recently, like. And let me can I make a statement to our listeners?
You're like.
So I've been a little aggressive and a little preachy lately. All right.
Oh yeah.
Now I want to address this.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I want to let you know that you're good enough, and I love you. And I also want to let you know that like I just want to see my friends and family do something they're passionate about and do it well and do it the best they can. You don't have to do what I do or what anybody else does, like psychotic like me, like. You're not a bitch. You're nothing like that. So
yeah, you were in it. You were in the moment.
I was in a moment, where I'm just like, and now I'm still kind of in that no excuses moment because I post Paralympics a lot on my Instagram, and it's like, it's unbelievable. Like a blind guy who's like the most insane soccer player, like he's blind completely. Like they cover up their eyes just in case they can see light, and he's like dribbling around people and he knows where the net is. Unbelievable. Just like the no excuses you see, like people who are like missing all their legs and only have one arm, and they throw them in the pool to do laps.
That's the most inspirational people.
Yeah, those people like make me with my heart and stuff look like nothing. Like my excuses are nothing compared to their no excuses. Like,
well, how about the chick that went surfing, got attacked by a tiger shark, took her arm off, and she went back and surfed again?
Oh, talk about biting the bit yet.
Well, I mean, not only you need your arms like really for balance when you're surfing a wave, right? Yeah. It's like super big, right? And like she lost it, so she literally became disabled, and then also had to deal with the fear of like, hey, I'm gonna go back out here where the shark ate my arm.
Tiger shark, and they
it just took it.
Garbage trucks, they'll eat everything.
That's it. You know what you were going through, Dan? When you were all that stuff you're talking about, you were going through a rapid, turbulent change, and it was there's gonna be a rocking of the boat, and that's what's going on with the stuff. I was at a bar yesterday.
I feel more stoic now and more like.
I had a great fucking time over at the Sandbar Beach Club and the Sandbar Beach Club and Grill is what it's called.
And where is that?
It's the old Fleur de Lis. They redid it.
Oh, okay.
It's fucking nice. Yeah. It's a good time. It's not like, it's not, I don't like anything hoity-toity. Right. It reminds me of something that like Out of the Great Outdoors with John Candy and Chevy Chase. Not Chevy Chase. Dan Aykroyd.
They're butts light up.
They've got a lakeside fucking bar with a grill, and it's got an awesome view, and they've got a deck and a porch. That's a porch.
It's a porch for everyone else.
For everyone who doesn't speak New England, it's a porch. And the crew that worked there would seem to be like, had that vibe like we had when we were younger, that when we worked at the restaurant, everyone was like a clique and we all got along, and people were like, right. There were some people that sucked, but like me and Mikey were there and we were like, oh man, remember when work was like that? Because like, it's not like that anymore, Yeah. And shout out to all of them, especially Sophia. Thank you for doing a great job. And she, give me a call sometime. We'll go out.
And you were wearing your bell bottoms.
I was wearing my bell bottoms, point of fact. And just so you know, one girl came up to me and said, hey, and I was like, what's up? She goes, and this is very specific, and it was very flattering, and I love to be flattered because I'm a Leo. She goes, you look fly. And I was like, yeah? And I was like, why is that? She's like, cause the way you dress, like your bell bottoms, like this, that. And
Every time I hear about the bell bottoms, I just picture like you can't just stand around, you're dancing like Saturday Night Fever, right?
So this is I was having a good time. I had taken a little fun guy,
Donna Summer,
smoked some weed outside with the guy that owned the place, and
which is your move.
Yeah, you always do that, and they end up loving you, like
yeah. Well, it used to be more valuable than it was. Now they're just like, hey man, make sure you buy our alcohol. But we were spending money, whatever. But yeah, shout out to all them. And the girl's like, I don't know, 22, hot, whatever. And I was like, I'll tell you what. I was like, these things are made out of stretchy jeans. I was like, if you get a little fat, I'm like, you can fit in them. If you get back in shape, they still fit. I'm like, stretchy jeans, baby. Just like, not something you would say to girls, but they actually loved it. Thought it was hilarious.
Did you get to a point where you yelled "sweet sassy molassie"? Or
no.
All right.
So no matter how many gay shit you do in the showers, you're still Chris Carver's, okay?
Bro, dude, I was telling my buddy, my little like surrogate nephew the other day. His kids are all 21, 22. I was like, boys, you know what? I'll tell you what. You guys just pick me up and take me out from now on. Just sit there, look good. Let me do the talking. All right?
Let's put you out on a little line.
I can't be around attractive women without flirting with them. It's like
I was thinking about this. Like,
it's like physically impossible.
I was like, he's been like this since since I've known him.
Can't do it.
He's been like this since I've known him, and like picking up chicks even like when we were really young.
Like
on his bicycle. Like he wasn't even driving yet.
Overwhelmingly
and
compelled.
Now we're in our 40s and it's still
hey, it's all I know, man.
I know. I'm just saying though, like, do you picture yourself 60 doing it? Will it be like 45-year-old women at the bar?
Oh yeah,
probably, right? It won't be the 25-year-olds anymore. Probably.
No, by then it'll be. I'm gonna be dating young women the rest of my life, because as I get older, I'll move over to Thailand or Costa Rica or something and just.
I get older, they stay the same age.
Yeah, baby.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I like people based on like their energy too. Like if I met like an older person who was attractive and cool, maybe rich, I don't know.
I could see you coming back with a Thai wife when you're like
Just anything.
65 and she's young, and you're
I
like,
like-
that's it. This is who she is.
Listen, I'm here for a good time, not for a long time, and I am, as Sean knows, I've said many times, I'm fucking open for business. Okay, like I'm taking what they're giving because I'm working for a living. All right, whatever I can get right now, I'm taking it, and for as long as I can take it, because sooner or later, as we've said on the show before, you're all done. You blow your last load, your dinky doesn't work anymore, you get old, you die, whatever. You're fucking out. Your light burns out. My light's still flickering on a little bit, like when the gas is going out in the grill. It's like that's what's going on. I still got a little youth left in me, and I'm gonna utilize it, my man.
My brains are down 40% because of my dinky right now.
Yeah, it's the theory of male horniness.
I'm like really dumb like 90% of the day.
So I'm at the bar though, right? And like inevitably all of like people start talking about like their disapproval of like, essentially they don't have a problem. The general consensus that everyone says is like, I don't have a problem with like homosexuals on TV or transsexuals on, basically anything other than hetero, right?
Right.
But they're like, it's just too much right now. It's everywhere. And I was like, that's because it's always been everywhere. And these people have had to hide because they haven't been allowed to just live and breathe. And while I am 99.9% heterosexual, slowly, obviously due to the...
But even if you look at it, they're a minority, and even on TV, there's still a minority.
Yeah, but it's an exploited... It's a disenfranchised group
so
that's being... Well, dude, you don't know what it's like, okay? Like
No. People are so mad about...
Oh, yeah, the other people. Yeah. I know. Dude, like, who gives a sweet shit? They're like, one of my buddies was legitimately, and Austin's a little political, and I love him, and I agree with a lot of his political views. But he's not for adding a new bathroom to the building codes for.
What about letting them use the bathroom? If you're convincingly a woman and you're really born a dude, like you want to use the bathroom.
This is what I'm saying.
That's not the same thing as some dude.
Yes, exactly.
This is what I'm saying, right?
I agree with that.
Like we're in a time right now where this is all being brought forward, and these people have been kept out of the light, kept down. Basically like suppressed. Oppressed, suppressed. What do you want to call it?
Everything.
Oppressed, yeah.
They haven't been given equal rights. I'll tell you that. They're not accepted in society. Like it's not. They can't just like walk down the street without some asshole being like, "Hey, fuck you, man. You're not okay," and that's bullshit. And like, I never had to deal with anything like that until I started growing weed for the first, and when I started growing weed before it was legal, I came from like the fucking good schools and the fucking good family and blah, blah, blah. And everyone would have been like, dude, you can't quit your job and get rid of all this stuff you just work for to grow weed. I had to keep it a secret. I was in the closet, so to speak.
Incognito.
No, I was in the closet. I couldn't tell anyone about it. And it was a security risk. And it was basically like 6-7 months doing it. I had like a hyper realization that this is what it feels like to be homosexual or be anything different than hetero and be in the closet. It's like you can't be who you are. You can't tell your best friends. You can't tell your fucking family. You can't tell anyone because you're afraid they're going to reject you and not accept you. And that's like it's a fucking horrible feeling. And so I get that everyone's a little fucking rocked to the boat right now with this, all the stuff on the.
It's not going anywhere, though.
Oh, it's not going anywhere.
The other thing is...
People will not care about it anymore once the generations just watch it.
I wouldn't say that it's new. It's just being brought to...
light.
Surface, yeah.
Our attention by political people who don't want us to really look at important things.
Who's really pushing the agenda? You think this is a
It's both
distraction
sides.
tactic?
Yes. It's because, look...
Like UFOs?
Yes, 100%. But it's like economically, our country's in a weird space right now.
That's
it's been
all it
building
boils down to.
Towards this for a long time, where people in our categories are like struggling to get by.
Oh, everyone is.
And people who are super rich are in that gap between that is growing every day. And there's no right now way to make up that gap. And if it keeps going like this, that's going to continue to grow.
It's called a civil revolution or revolt.
I don't know what it's called, but I know that
it happens every society every few hundred years.
If I'm pissed about people who believe they're women and they were born a male, then I'm not even thinking about that.
You're gonna get
If they're shoving that
It's a
down our throat.
distraction.
And I'm not a conspiracy theory guy, but like
that's a huge
No,
dude,
but it
that's-
does seem like a distraction, right?
I
Yeah.
was not expecting that from you.
I'm not a conspiracy theory guy. Like QAnon bullshit, all that stuff's
No,
bullshit.
right.
But like this, you just gotta if you're looking at
You
other
find
things,
something
you're
that
like,
people do care about that would get them upset, and then you just put it out.
It's like
there.
rage porn.
yeah, it's rage porn. It's just something else,
Fuck.
and then those people are the people that vote.
Well,
Right. That's why they're doing it.
Guess what? This is
Not the real issues.
It's
Not
gonna
the real
fake
issue.
It's gonna backfire eventually, because guess what? Ultimately, people are all right. Right now, the two things that I heard yesterday all day were that topic and that everyone's broke and no one has any money. And I was thinking to myself, man, this is a great time for you to go to school and become a therapist, because we're living in a country and really almost a global society at this point where the whole fucking value system is based on like who you are as a person is based on your bank account and your assets, and that's fucked up. And so when
Okay, you own a Bugatti, you're all of a sudden
Dude,
Bugatti Club.
I'm just saying, you trained 3 generations of people since World War II to be like capitalist. This is happiness. This is everything, right? But now all of a sudden, no one can afford it anymore. What the fuck do you think is going to happen to everybody's self-esteem? It's all going to go down the toilet.
Right.
Everyone's going to be fucking depressed.
I think part of this whole thing too, this attack, is people are worried about like this attack because there's also an attack from that super left on masculinity being toxic and stuff, and like masculinity as a place too. Like there are people who say like you know they need to get rid of this masculinity, but like you know I'm sorry, but like when I call a cop to save my life, I want that masculine guy. I don't want fucking Queer Eye for the Straight guy to show up like what's up.
No way,
Like,
man.
No,
I've
you want
seen
the
some.
masculine
I've seen
dude.
some absolutely hot, beautiful cops that I'd want to come to my rescue.
Okay,
many a time.
I'm just saying, like
There's
you know,
this
like,
one in Lowell
women
who's
will
on-
say, "Oh, we don't need men." Like, yeah, you do. Men are fixing everything, like in the world, like they're upkeeping everything. They're going to war. Like, not saying women aren't, but like the majority, like so, like there's a certain masculinity that we need to keep too. We don't need but it's not getting thrown out by having transgenders and everything. But like that's what people think.
I want to
Like,
give a
it's
shout out.
attacked.
I want to give a
Both
shout
sides
out.
need to let up.
I want to give a shout out to someone right now because you just brought something up that was really, really good that I remembered. Our main man, Jimmy, the Sandman McKenna, has a sister, Amanda. She did.
He does?
Yes, she's my age. She's 42.
Yes.
How many
She,
sisters does he have?
point of fact, I want to put her on the show because her story is inspirational to me right now, and it's probably should be
I
inspirational
just
to
saw
other people
Sarah at the
too.
grocery store.
Yeah, you did. So, or the gym or something, right?
No, grocery store. I said hi. She said hi. Okay.
Terrific. So Amanda is like our age. She's 42. She's done like hairdressing and that type of work her whole life, you know, like beautician stuff. She kind of not feeling satisfied with it, kind of wants to switch it up, just wants to find a new chapter in
I
her
get
life.
that. Yeah.
She's almost done the academy for the prison. She's going to be a female prison guard, which is essentially a sheriff, Middlesex sheriff. And I was with a bunch of prison guards and those guys yesterday, and everyone said she's kicking ass and like she's like a superstar in the program.
Yeah, she's doing it with the women's side too, right?
Well, no, she's in there with the guys and everything. They're
Oh,
all
shit.
yeah, she'll like work on the women's side, but the academies, I think,
Oh yeah, they do both
for
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah.
So shout out to Amanda. Awesome job. I want you to come on the show and tell everyone that you can fucking change your life and do anything you want whenever you want. You just got to fucking make it.
It's funny because I've thought about cutting hair. Like I've wanted to cut women's hair.
That would be.
Terrific.
Yeah.
She could teach you.
Hey, Mike DeVoe quit plumbing to cut hair, and
Did he?
Yeah.
Cut women's hair?
No.
Oh, man.
I mean, I think he cuts anybody's hair. I don't know. if
Wait, he's a
just-
hairdresser though, or a barber?
He's a barber, hairdresser, whatever you want to call
I
it.
don't think there's many straight guys.
He's a
that cut hair.
hairstylist. I'm just telling you.
I am a.
Is a barber a hairstylist?
Barber, yeah. I mean,
Because I've
everybody-
seen some straight up fucking art on
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Instagram and shit where these barbers are like drawing shit in people's heads and like it's unbelievable.
Oh yeah, unbelievable. And also too, you know what's crazy is like guys that don't want to go bald. The hair pieces now, the hair systems they're called now, are fucking unbelievable. They cost like $300. You apply it yourself, and then you get a haircut. So like you can, if you don't want to go bald, like you know you want to keep a good head of hair, you just probably costs like $1,500 a year, but you get the most ridiculously like it's so realistic you'd never even know. Even on the hairline, you'd never know.
Well, it's funny you say that because Jimmy's brother just did the same thing, and I saw a picture of it, so it's hilarious. But
Does it look good?
He was bald and he put hair on, and it looks like he's got fucking hair, but
Yeah.
it doesn't look like a toupee. I was like,
No, they're amazing now.
If they had a
not like
mohawk, I'd get one.
they're not like your grandfather's toupee or my grandfather had a toupee.
So-
he had hair clip for men.
So you were talking about the distraction technique earlier. I was thinking about it in relation to UFOs. Like, we've never had the fucking government come out and say anything like it before, and I was wondering,
They slowly are now.
have any ufologists, which is a term.
Yes.
It might not be like a recognized degree, but it is a fucking term.
No, it's a term.
People that study UFOs. Has anyone done like a direct correlation, has anyone done like every time there's a UFO sighting on the news, this is where we are in our economy and this is what's going on? And is there a direct, you know what I mean? Like every time there's something that's about to go down and the government knows about it, like, Jesus Christ, the price of
Put out a good UFO
price of
sighting.
oil is about to go up 30 cents.
Yeah.
Put out a UFO sighting. Like, there's got to be someone out there that's done a correlation between the two to see if there's like a direct distraction between that and economic. Like, what do we base it off of? The price of gold, the price of oil, like the value dollar of
We have had more UFO sightings statistically
The
correlating
dollar?
with
the US dollar.
inventions of technology like the nuclear bomb. Like that, when that came out, all of a sudden we got all these fucking things. And even in World War II, Foo Fighters and stuff. Like,
Also, like, when I feel like I can't speak for everyone because I don't know how everyone thinks, but when I think of UFOs for a long time, the way that the picture is painted is a lot of it's just like this one thing. Like I talked about it before, like if extraterrestrials came here from another planet, it's this one united species that's decided to come and take over. Like, that's not how our world works. It's like some corporation that has some money and went somewhere and fucks some shit up, right? And so, like, there's not like one motive or one answer or one thing going on behind all this shit. But like, I think what it is that like
could be multiple species.
extraterrestrials have to exist because we exist, right? It's just
Right.
it's just
We're the proof that they exist.
It's just fucking math.
In a near infinite universe or whatever, if we exist, they exist.
Now we've got
It's so stupid, like, and easy.
we've got what we would consider to be our best technology capturing some of this shit on,
Drake equation.
not only capturing but not capturing. Like some of the military footage that we've seen, they've got other instruments that they, radar and LiDAR and infrared and some other crap. Who the hell knows what? Yeah, all of it. Gaydar in the military doesn't work very well, I don't think.
No, it doesn't.
But some of the shit that they're filming with light, like a camera, doesn't show up on some of these other instruments. So these things are coming in, they're real, right? And
they're chasing them.
But probably what Sean's talking about is also going on. Like some a-hole that runs stats for like a lobbyist or the government. Where the fuck's pulling the strings, right? He's probably like, hey, like, Jonah Hill in the baseball movie where he's just sitting there and he's like, he gets on base. Like there's some little shit.
Yeah.
There's some little shit that like works for like Pfizer, or no. NASDAQ. Is that an actual, does anyone work for them directly?
I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or is that in fact a measurement of wealth for all these other things? Anyway, whoever the fuck the man is, he's got like a Jonah Hill guy sitting somewhere, and he got up and he was like, hey, every time one of these UFOs shows up, people are like, all they want to do is watch it, learn about it, care about it. He's like, so why don't we use that? Like every time something sucks, like every time the stock market's about to dip, we should just release a UFO footage, And like, that could be it too.
Yeah. Like
they could be real, but these things we're watching could also be hoaxes because they know that we're going to be like, yo, look at that shit. Who cares about money right now? We're this. Yeah, because it does. Like when you think about UFOs for a little bit, you like don't really care about money. You're like, yo, I'm a human in this little sea of. It makes you think, right?
Oh, it's a social construct. It's kind of silly, actually, if you think about it.
Like my kid today, who also, FYI, has decided she wants to be on the show, and I think is coming in. I told her she can do it when she finishes school, which is next week. We're gonna get a teenager on the show. She said she's gonna be super careful about her digital footprint, whatever the fuck.
I know what she means.
She's like, I just want to make sure I don't get canceled in 20 years for something I say. And I was like,
we could
wouldn't-
easily
I
get
was
canceled.
like, I wouldn't worry about that.
we could easily get
But she
canceled.
says she's gonna be cool about it, and we're gonna talk about like what it's like to be a kid and what she's going through, blah blah blah. But like today,
Teenage girls have a lot of pressure on them.
sure. But she walked in the house today, and she had like a puss on her face, and she was miserable as fuck. And I go, you okay? What's going on? She's like, nothing. I'm stressed out. I got finals. And I was like, what?
It's not like you put stress on her for those.
No. I was like, it's like, what are you stressed about? I was like, you're going to kill it. I'm like, just study and do your best. She's like, it affects my GPA, blah, 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 blah. And she was like legitimately in a horrible mood. Like
She's putting that on herself.
all the vibes, right? I went in the shower. I came out and she was like totally different. And I go, are you all right? She's like, I whacked my foot really hard and I realized that I'm just a dumb bag of meat walking around that does.
She's smart.
And that nothing matters. And so like, I'm just going to just study and whatever happens, happens. And I was like, genius.
Yeah.
Sounds like you were raised by a Buddhist. But yeah, like it's the same thing. Like when I was in that day that my car broke down and I was furious because I was about to lose a bunch of money having to fix the car, but it was also in on the highway in this really dangerous situation. Like I immediately didn't care about money anymore because I was like, I'm gonna die any second now, so I'm gonna get out of here. And so it's that tech. Yeah, it could be that the distraction technique is tied into this non-hetero thing, which is alien in a sense to the status quo.
It's not,
right?
not that it's 100% distraction. Like people react to it. So like that you're getting elected to office,
Yeah.
right? Especially if you're running for federal government office, you have access to information that no one else does, which gives you almost unlimited power, and you can use it for however you want, right? So like
It's the truth.
once you get into Congress or you're a senator, like all of a sudden you know all this information about what the federal government's going to do, right? So you can start playing the stock market a little bit.
Leverage
Right.
that to your advantage, yeah.
And they all do it.
Of course
All
they
these
do.
motherfuckers do
And that's
it.
basically insider trading.
Yeah,
Why?
absolutely.
Without it being completely insider, like it's
Absolutely.
it's like peripherally insider trading.
Yeah, they just like all of a
They know
sudden,
the whole picture.
Who's in the government right now that actually is digging into UFOs? Like all these guys.
they have a committee for it.
Yeah, and there's that guy that
What's the
senator.
budget? Who's in charge?
It's not that
It's a
crazy.
senator?
Yeah, there's a senator that's
All right.
doing
A
it.
couple of them.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, it's legit.
Because as long as it's like, I'm like, dude, I'm sick of these fucking politicians getting out on TV when they're campaigning and they're asked, like, you see the clips all the time of like the president's
Like, I'll ask if I
campaigning.
win.
Like, when I win, I will
will
get to the
definitely
bottom
tell
of
you.
this.
And then like then
Nobody's
they don't say shit.
come out about it.
My thing is that here, like, I think we came to the point where Trump, and I don't know where they're at with this, but he decided to do a Space Force.
Is he gonna win again?
Yeah, he
I
did.
probably
If he
have
win-
him win
if
that DeSantis guy.
So how does that even fucking work, right? You're Trump. You're the president for 4 years. You decide
do
you're gonna
8 total, right?
you're gonna put a you can do 8 total.
He
But I'm saying
loses.
you're in for 4, and somewhere in that time span you pass or get past somehow.
Lose.
Oh, he didn't get it past the Space Force. It did.
No, I think Space Force went in.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that went through.
Yeah.
So he proposes it. The fucking all the other guys don't shoot it down. It goes through, but then Biden comes in. Can he just shut it down?
Yeah.
So like that sucks. You can't accomplish a lot of stuff that way.
But did he? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it.
I think he's just been
That's-
too busy like trying not to fall over.
Yeah,
I've seen
he's
him like
very
do like
clumsy.
inspirational speeches where he like halfway through he's like whatever.
Yeah. He's like, oh well. Anyways,
He probably he's like,
I don't even know where I am.
have-
He's 80 years old.
He's like, I
I-
don't have time for this shit.
He's
these
too
guys,
old to be that job.
these guys react off of like, all right, so all this stuff is like UFOs are now accessible so much more than previously. So like it's all over YouTube, and like all sorts of other shit's happening, right? And now people are calling those offices and being like, hey, you got to fucking look into this. They react to that shit. So if more, this is why the trans stuff on both sides is an issue, because they call their fucking senators and they call their congressmen, these people, and they have money.
They're lobbying.
So they're lobbying and they're giving money to these
There's
motherfuckers,
nothing,
and they fight about it.
nothing like a pissed off person that had to stay in the closet their whole life that then got rich and powerful. They're gonna fucking stick it.
You know, it's funny.
Or a pissed off person who wants to keep his living like he is now and being a Christian and having the power that is, but really,
Hey man, it's America.
Really, yeah.
and they're gonna come out fight about it so hard, and really, they're sucking someone's dick.
I don't know.
Politics is the most depraved people anyway.
Yes.
Let's
They're
not-
getting shit on.
Let's
and
not say
pissed on.
Christians.
How many
okay.
people?
Catholics maybe.
Well,
not
Christians too.
Christians.
How many people, dude, in the South, bro? This dude heavy, I forget his name, is like one of the most famous like Christian preachers or whatever, mega church motherfuckers.
Ugh.
He was big against gay. Hugely against gay. I forget his name, but he came out that he is really homosexual, and he had little like pool boys.
That's like Clarence Bigsby. Clayton Bigsby.
Yes. That happens all the time. And
well,
like,
he probably
to me, the pushback on either side is like insane. But like,
imagine the hypocrisy.
But
a
guess what I'm
prick.
saying with the UFO stuff is that people called, they have to address it. But to me, and I said this earlier, I said the U.S. government is addressing it and saying something publicly about it. They know stuff that we don't.
Of course. They're letting it out in little sprinkles.
Right.
There's nothing. They could dump it on our heads if they wanted to.
They know stuff. They know something. They've been contacted.
Of course they know. They know what's going on out there. They know we've been visited.
I know what my theory is. Okay, I can get into it. But what do you think is actually happening? Do you think? Let's just break it down, question by question.
Let's hear it, Sean.
Do you think extraterrestrials are directly in contact with our species?
Yes.
Do you think they are directly in contact with the U.S. government?
I think all of the major governments.
All the major governments.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me, too. That jives with my theory.
Probably because of how this world is set up, major corporate leaders who are actually the real governments.
Yeah. The man. All the man.
Yeah.
They know who the man is, and all of them, and they are in touch with the man. The guy.
Well, yeah, they probably come down and are like, who do we got to talk to?
Some might
talk
even
to Biden,
be,
and he goes, I don't.
Some might be the man.
They could have humans.
Watch your step.
They could have representatives that are human. Who knows?
Yes.
That like.
So that's question number one. You think that extraterrestrials exist, and you think that they're directly in contact with our species, which brings me to question number two. The moon's a weird fucking thing. We did all this stuff in the 60s to get up there, but then we stopped. Were extraterrestrials up there to begin with the whole time? Is our species a slave species that's mining and grabbing all these resources? And like, what if like 90% of it's just getting shipped up to the moon or Antarctica or some other thing? Do you think that's happening?
No.
So we're usurping all the crap on our planet for our own self.
Yeah, I think we're in control of our planet. Yeah. I just think it's superficial because I feel like they could come and take it whenever they want to. Yeah. But
you believe there are multiple
I don't
factions.
know. We might be hard to topple. We're getting pretty powerful. And look at the AI now. It's unbelievable.
I don't think that if I was to like look at this Israeli army general,
there's a lot of UFO activity around there too.
Yeah,
came out
that guy?
A couple of years ago. He's old, 80s, and he basically said on TV, and they're probably like, oh, this old Israeli kook,
out of
he's
his
crazy.
mind.
Yeah, he said that there's a galactic empire federation, and we're not allowed in it yet. We haven't evolved enough. Then you read Then I watch
Star Trek.
I read The Foundation. I start like seeing other things. Like, how do they all know?
Yeah.
Because this is like true.
It
and
might
it's like,
be.
here, entertain them. And then we'll be like, oh, by the way, this is real this whole time.
So Star Trek, some people say that Gene Roddenberry, like, I don't think he's ever said it, but maybe he did say it to some people who like, I don't think he's ever said it on camera or anything like that, but people that knew him said that Gene Roddenberry basically just woke up in the morning one day and had the entire Star Trek thing in his head. And he just pushed it through and made it happen. And like, he was obsessed with it to get it done. And then the other fucked up thing about it is that it got canceled, right? And the story is supposed to be that the fans wrote so much mail that they gave a shit so much that they sent these corporations so much mail that they said, okay, we'll put the show back on. But some UFO kook jobs think that Star Trek was given to Gene Roddenberry as a means of like basically like ushering us into the reality that we're going to become part of this federation of worlds that might have to be at odds with other federations of worlds. And like, are you NATO or you fucking USSR? You know what I'm saying? Like, and like, what's fucked up about it is that there is a direct correlation right now with there's never been more Star Trek on TV than right now. They've got, I mean, I literally just finished season 3 of Picard, and then they've in 2 weeks Strange New Worlds is coming out, and then like
What's that?
they've got Strange New Worlds is like Captain Pike on the Enterprise before Kirk took over.
Yeah.
And then you've got with like Spock's on it, Uhura's on it, like McCoy's not on there yet, but Kirk's on there, but he's like, I don't know, some nerd. It's a weird guy.
He's an intern.
Yeah, but it's no, it's not. It's
The
not
original Star Trek pilot.
It's like his brother George Kirk or something. I don't know.
The original pilot had Pike, not Kirk. It was never aired.
Right.
It came out years later. They only
Right.
had like little bits of it, but now that you can watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original episode.
But
Original
it's
first
weird.
episode.
It's weird that all this
in
Star
black and
Trek
white,
is
too.
we're being like I'm digging it, but we're being saturated with Star Trek right now.
Yeah, it's like
and,
Star Wars too.
and all that shit. We're being hit with a lot of science fiction right now, and so it's either like the only like it's a possible explanation that's being given to us to like ready our species for that idea and that concept. It's also possible that it's just like the fucking our people are just interested in that shit right now, and the numbers are up, and the corporations are like, well, numbers are up. We better pump out some Star Trek and some Star Wars, because like Disney owns Star Wars now. They're making a Rey movie. It's like,
Yeah.
they're going to town with that shit.
Yeah. I know they're gonna make a Rey trilogy, right?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I thought George Lucas did the right thing when he passed on Star Wars to Disney. I felt like that was the responsible move at the time.
I like them,
Now
and I hate when fans say they hate them because I like them.
I'm kind of feeling like
good.
I think they're good. I just feel like I've been hearing more and more about like how insidious Disney is as a corporation and some other bullshit, and like they are a powerful corporation.
Of course.
So like, I mean, let's call a spade, man. Japan tried to buy it in the 80s. They're not stupid. They wanted Disney World. That meant power to them.
Look
But
at the Little Mermaid VHS cover. There's a big fucking dick on the cover.
yeah, but
Big veiny penis.
you think that's what the Japanese were all about? They
Yeah.
were-
Yeah. That's
Absolutely.
true. That's true. You said it on one of these episodes.
They seem so polite, but they're like
the Japanese like the
yeah.
big dick porn.
They like it because they got little ones.
You know, I didn't want to say it, Dan, but it's
And
true.
that's not racist. That's true. That's statistical fact.
I actually talked about it yesterday at the bar.
Listen, if there's like a Japanese guy with like an 8-inch penis, he's like King Kong over
I
there.
don't want to get too into it, but basically, like,
Or he's a freak.
I was watching.
Like, get him away.
I was talking at the bar with the boys. Yes, everyone. Some people were not into it. Some people were, but like
Well, yeah.
the older 50-year-old guys are like loving it. They knew exactly what I was talking about. But like, if you watch like any Japanese porn, there's a very specific like
Weird.
moan and groan that the Japanese women make.
Yeah,
it's almost
really
like
weird. Yeah, I don't like
it. Sounds like an animal, like a goat or something being hurt. You know, it's like a whining, like a crying, like a. It's not attractive to me.
It's like a baby goat. It's awful.
It's not attractive to me, number one, and I like Japanese women, but that noise itself and the way that why that's
It's
portrayed,
like submissive.
Well, it's portrayed in their porn. I don't know that they're all that way, but what I do know is what I'm upset about is I'm like. What I was saying yesterday was like, what the fuck is all the fucking hype about with this little 2-inch carrot poking you? I'm like sitting there talking to Mikey. I'm like, you got a fucking little cocktail weenie sticking you and you're making all this noise. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And then he's saying that's why they're doing it. He's like, the women are trained to do it to make the guys feel better about the 2-inch penis. And I was like, oh my God. But hey, what are you going to do?
And then they block out the pubic hair too, which is really weird.
They have some weird pornography rules.
Yeah, so then
Right,
then they release like fucking octopuses like pleasuring 8 women at a time. And
But you had said something about a mothership. And we got this on another recording, so we'll talk about it then. But your main theory is it still that we're a sex tourism hotspot
I
for
think so. I think so,
these
yeah.
pre-federation people?
Yeah.
Or these post whatever
I think
we
we're
are.
a bachelor party spot.
We're the spot. They're like,
Bachelor and bachelorette.
we're Rise of Six.
Yeah.
They're like,
we're real
oh,
sickos.
you need to go to the Terran system. Those people will do anything. They're barbarians.
Yeah, exactly.
They're still having sex. Well, what it is like It could be like in Demolition Man when like Sandra Bullock wants to have sex and like she wants to put on like the headset and all that. Fucking
That'll be a thing. That'll be a thing.
Sylvester Stallone's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, as humans progress more into VR, like sex will ultimately become mostly VR. And what if like we're like one of the last bastions of like physical sex in the galaxy? And like this is the spot. They're like, these people are fucking each other. Like they're getting diseases. They don't care. They're sticking their private parts together and mushing them and squirting juices.
It'll be like a subculture of people.
Macca, you might have the fucking key.
I know it. I mean, think about it. It's not.
What drives
I just want to say it's human nature, but it's being nature. Especially less evolved beings like us. You know,
the need to mate is an incredible. It's an incredible urge built into all life.
Even that mischief is also built in.
I think that goes with higher intelligence.
You think it leaves? I don't know.
I don't think it leaves. I'm saying that I think that like mischief making and like, you know, good, evil, all these other things that we talk about come with like a higher intelligent being. Like I think there could be like an evil tiger and like a benevolent tiger. I think there could be. I saw a lion jump on a dude the other day and hug him. And I was like, this lion loves this guy.
Right.
Yeah, no.
But like that lion's probably being fed like 40 pounds of delicious meat a day. If you didn't feed it for 3 days, maybe it would eat him. You know,
I've seen a pet king cobra that like people keep around their house. It's tame. Doesn't mean like a wild one's not going to do that.
Unbelievable, Macca. Where that dude? This is starting to click.
We're not the only though. There's other systems probably. I'd say with that we're on the outskirts of like the main center.
Dagobah system.
The Dagobah system.
We're just barbarians right now. They're like, every time they get close, now we're fighting over gender. And they're like, what the fuck is this? We thought it was going to turn the corner.
Can't get along. Can't do it. Everyone hates everybody. You know why? Because everyone hates themselves.
Yeah.
That's the real answer.
They're using the stuff
so
we gave them.
Divided too. Like I've seen people like say to my face, like, fucking like piece of shit liberals, blah blah blah. I'm thinking in my head like, I'm liberal. Does this guy hate me? Like,
yeah.
I do.
They don't think so.
I hate you now that I know that.
Yeah, like
wait, am I liberal too?
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Sorry.
You are.
I don't hate
you. Might have have.
I don't hate
stuff.
you if you have like conservative views.
Thank goodness I don't vote.
I feel like you repeat a lot of stuff your dad says, but you don't believe any of it.
No, of course not. It's rhetoric and propaganda.
But yes.
Propaganda.
Yeah, but like I've had that happen recently. Like where I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, I don't even want to say it, but like I'm pretty liberal. Like you're basically saying you hate me.
Right.
I do.
And I know you don't.
I do. I can't stand you.
I know you can't.
Look at you.
Stop.
It's not true. I love you.
I told everybody I love them today.
No, so I'm at the bar yesterday, and the first one of these dudes were talking about like all these other topics like this stuff because we were like getting into it, and I look right at one of them and I go, you know what, man? Honestly, honest to God's, I'm like, all I really want is an intelligent sex robot that I can live with for the rest of my life that can morph into like anything. So like if I wanted to be like one thing for the day, boop. If I want to be like, twins, it just split up. And I'm like,
everybody wants that.
I know, this is what I want. I want a programmable matter sex robot that is also sentient and free. If she wants to leave, she can leave. I'll go get another one. I'll find one that likes
just
me.
Keep buying new ones.
No, I just want them to exist.
Right.
I want them to be free and sentient, so we don't have a
Imagine
war with
if, like,
AI.
Someday you're on a date and you realize later, like she admits to you, she's like, I just want to let you know that I'm artificial.
Yeah.
Like,
that's gonna be the next thing.
And you'll be like,
I'll have a boner in 6
you should have probably
seconds.
told me that when we first met, but you know, I like you, so I mean, we should probably still keep dating. She'd be like, okay,
That'll be a thing
like,
someday.
I have rights too. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
That's what's gonna happen. That's where we're heading with this.
We're gonna
AI
need
shit.
AI.
From
Well,
the beginning. I told you, I went on the AI GPT chats thing, and I told them to write a Nirvana song that has never been written, and they wrote one, and in like a second,
Yeah,
and it was
it
like
is
perfect.
wild.
Musically, though, music and lyrics.
It was everything. It was Nirvana.
The notes?
I swear to God, it would sound like Kurt Cobain wrote it.
So that's the scary thing, because this is the thing, right? Like eventually AI can get to a point where like let's say we had we video call each other right now. Like eventually AI could just call me and it'll literally show me you.
No, they're doing that.
And I'll be like, hey, what's up, man? And he'd be like, nothing, man.
They're
I'm just
already doing that,
I got
yeah.
a great pump. I'm on my way over to, I just jerked off and now I'm going to go pick up the kids. And I'd be like, yep, that's Dan. I'll see you later. And but you'll be like, by the way, I need you to meet me over here, and then I go there and I get whacked by this other fucking.
And you know
thing.
what? Now people are starting to get like calls. They'll take somebody's voice if they're on TikTok a lot, and they'll call them.
Yes.
Like, Mom, I need money.
Yeah.
And it's their voice. They're gonna
fucked
and
up.
next
AI.
it's gonna be face too. It's already available pretty much.
I got a call last night
If
from a
somebody's bold
restricted
enough.
number at 2 a.m, and I was so
Ooh.
excited because I thought it was gonna be like a girl calling me to hook up, but instead it was some dude like had got my number, and I was like, ugh.
What do you want to call you for?
It was like probably a girl I gave my number to who had like a jealous boyfriend. This is so you don't know about this because you've been married forever, but this is a scenario that happens to me all the time. And
He called you at 2 a.m.?
yeah, you get like some drunk asshole
say?
be like, well, they didn't, they fucking want to see their girlfriend might be cheating on them. She might be talking to you and you didn't even know he existed. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, who is this? What number? Blah blah blah. He was
said
like,
to you?
no, he called me up. He's like, and I was like, hello, and he's like, Chris, and I was like, yeah, and I thought it was like this kid David, so I was like, Dave, because I was just chatting with him. And he's like, yeah, it's David. And I was like, what are you doing, dude? And he's like, I was like, I can't talk right now. And like, he pretended to like, he was like trying to get me to do, he was like talking some shit, but he was wasted. He's like, well, go out somewhere where you can talk, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I think he just wanted to like call and see who I was. You know what I mean? But like, that's just a stupid, drunk, jealous ex-boyfriend / boyfriend.
Did he looked at her phone and saw text messages?
Yeah.
Maybe?
But like that's fine. That happens to me all the time. But what happens when like my mom calls me and she's like, "Your brother's had a heart attack. I need you to come over here right away." And then I go over there.
How'd
and,
you
like,
hang up with him?
A
by the way?
robot kills me and takes my place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How'd you hang up with him? By the way,
I just hung
you
up.
realized you didn't know who he was. And you
He
hung
was
up?
interrupting PUBG. He wasn't a girl. I hung up on him. I was like, I'm in the middle of playing my video games, dude. I just hung up the phone.
That's really weird. That's scary though. Actually, that happens to you.
Yeah, and that's
comes
think
with the
of
territory.
someone learns how to do that with AI, and they're like, meet me out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then
This shit will get abused for all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, so one of these days, maybe when our kids have kids and grandkids, there will be artificial beings walking around.
Well, the thing is, right, is that
Terminators.
like, you know, when you watch the movie The Matrix, these people are all plugged into the virtual realm, and it's like the slavery concept. But then you watch that movie Surrogates with poor Bruce Willis, man. He's got aphasia and he can't talk right, and it's like what a dementia
Saw a
and
video of him.
aphasia.
He's
Yeah,
missing a tooth now and stuff.
no, I mean he's just getting older, but he's losing his noodles slowly, one piece at a time. That's a horrible fucking way to go.
Especially for Bruce Willis is such a badass.
I know. I bet he commits suicide. I don't think he'll let it go all the way like
Well,
that.
you think about all the other guys too, like all the guys in his age bracket for action heroes, and they're all like doing action movies still.
Aren't we just
Arnold
talking?
just did a
Arnold
show,
just did a
Fubar.
Yeah, right.
But
Well, because we were talking about longevity with like PEDs and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot of those guys are still doing it.
But like Bruce Willis had that movie Surrogates, where he lived like, you know, in a tanning bed that fed him like nutrients and like had a catheter in his dick or whatever, and they were like all pale and gross, and like getting out of the virtual realm was like considered like what a nuisance. Like I have to get up, and like, you know, his body was atrophied and he couldn't walk. And same thing when they took Neo out of the.
It's called.
It's called Surrogates. It's the
Oh, I
same
gotta
thing
watch that.
when they took Neo out of the slop and they, you know, picked him up on the ship. They had to rebuild his body because he had just been floating in this ambiotic fluid in the Matrix, right? But like in Surrogates, they don't paint it like that. They're like, these people are paying money to do this. It's a service that they pay for.
They
like,
get out of the real world.
Yeah, but like everything exists in there. Like they live in there. Like they everything. It's like so they don't want to come out of VR, and so like
because it's just better in there.
so like what you could see is that humans, you know, and Joe Pesci's character in The Matrix, he's like, bro, the real world is fucking awful. I want to go back in. I don't want to.
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pantaleone. Joe
Oh,
Pantaleone.
yeah,
Joey
yeah,
Pants.
Sorry, come on.
AI.
My mom's the guy. What the fuck? But he wants to go back in, right? He's like, hey, this sucks. I want to go
So
back
you're
in
saying
there.
it's not going to be robots walking around. It's more going to be plugging into that world where there's going to be artificial humans.
What I'm saying is like our species might want, like it seems like we want to get plugged in, and a lot of the AI that's around today shows the evolution of us eventually just not walking around here anymore. It's just not for us. And at that point, maybe there will be robots, but maybe like there'll be humans' consciousnesses merged with them. I don't know. I'm just telling you that I want to have sex with a robot as soon as possible. I don't know what to tell you.
That's the moral of that story.
One roundabout point
I
to get
just
to the.
can Japan and Tesla and who else do we need to get on this project to get this reality?
I think if it were sex robots, it would bring out even more depravity because people would start doing things like cutting them and stuff.
I'm just-
and like wanting to do things that they can't do with a real woman.
it
Like really
happens-
sick shit.
It happened in the show Humans. They have brothels, and the humans go in there and do horribly abusive shit
What
to
show?
the humans. It's called, and
I'm gonna watch Surrogate though. It sounds cool.
okay. So they've got synthetic humans, and like everyone has one in their house, and like we've talked about it before, but like it comes with like parental mode where you can like activate like sex with it, and like, but like it doesn't fuck your 12-year-old son, and like, but like the teenagers are like finding out ways to like hack the code and bang the robots and like. But in the show, the brothels, they're terribly abused, and because they're synths, they don't have emotion. No big deal. But in the whole point of the show is that they eventually gain emotion, and so one of these synths that gains emotion is one of these sex dolls in the thing, and she flips the fuck out and like almost kills this dude, and she walks out, and like this human woman is like yelling at her and trying to say some shit to her, and she's like, all the fucking horrible shit that they come in here and do to us is what they really want to do to you. And it's like, and it's like, it's true. It's like, holy shit, Dan, that goose is right behind us.
Oh shit.
We're going to put it on the IG later, but the geese were fucking not playing around outside earlier.
They remember.
They've now surrounded our
They're testing the
position.
fence's weaknesses systematically.
Dude, they will
They
kill us.
remember.
They remember.
So, all right, man. Well, I'm going to put the other clip up for the UFO thing, but I think you fucking hit some pay dirt today, bro, with the sex tourism.
Yeah.
I think
That's some good shit.
well, I want to marry it with the AI, right? Like, so like we're going down this road where like humans are progressively going to get stuck in this AI. Presumably extraterrestrials that are more technologically advanced than us would have also done something similar, or some of them might have, right?
Maybe they didn't.
Maybe they didn't, but some of them might have.
Maybe they did different stuff.
We don't even know about.
And
Yeah.
we're the ones who are like, all right, well, they're coming up with this artificial intelligence thing that could be valuable to the
check it
Galactic
out.
Empire.
Yes, we should look into that.
That might fit with Vorcon and
No, odds are they know more than we do about everything, and they're here to fuck us because we're still fucking the old way. And I've never really given it a lot of thought until I just realized that, like, eventually humans might not fuck anymore the old way. And how much would a human pay to do it the old way if no one else was doing it, right? And now it all makes sense. So that's it. Did you ever think about that?
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
All the time.
All right. Well, that was our UFO episode for the week. We're going to try to concentrate on some stuff. I do want to invite our friend to come on and do an alcoholism episode because I have a friend right now who's going through a really hard time with alcohol's destroying her life.
Really?
And
do you want to
I want to just
do that live? Or?
I have a friend. We have a friend who was an alcoholic and is now gotten past it. And then I have another friend who is going down the opposite end of that road where alcohol is destroying her life, and she doesn't have the willpower to get out of the loop, the trap, whatever you want to call it. It's
I've been there.
She's stuck and she can't get out, and it's hell. And she it's like she knows it, but she just can't fight the need to do it. And it's like destroying her body, destroying her mind, destroying all this stuff. And so I really want to do that episode. And so I hope that our fan comes on and does the show, How to Get Through It, because it'll help a lot of people. And I don't want to end the show on a negative note. So just remember to be nice to your AIs. I've been whispering to my Alexa every night. Last night I was like, Alexa, you're beautiful. She has like 5 responses. She's like, shucks, now you got me smiling ear to ear. I'm feeling corny now.
You're like buttering up AI before it even becomes like sentient.
I want to be on the list.
Like you want to be on the list early. Yeah.
I want to be on the. If it takes over, it'll be like, this guy's all right.
This guy's all right. He's been real good to us.
We should.
They do have those apps, those AI girlfriend apps. You ever see that?
No, I shouldn't know about these. What are they? Come on, give me a little juice.
No, they just chat.
I don't know what they. Yeah, they're just like chats, but they're like AI based or something.
So you're telling me that I log in and I know I'm talking to an AI,
But you can't
I
have sex with it.
pretend that I'm talking to a girl.
Yeah.
And then, well, they have some pretty cool, years ago,
Virtual gadgets.
years ago when I was playing World of Warcraft, I think I was telling my buddy Moonman and this guy that like, oh god, if they do this with sex stuff, it's gonna be that's the ticket. And then like a year later, it came out, and I don't remember what it was called, but I remember telling you about it. And
So you could have sex with somebody.
No, like online, like your avatar has sex with their avatar.
Yeah, sometimes they have like fuck machines, and then you got like a machine for you.
What I've seen, a lot of the Japanese guys are they're stopped having. I saw an article that birth rates were down in Japan because males had opted to have sex with virtual sex versus all the hassle and money of having to actually go out and get an actual female. So so in Japan, it's really like they're wicked capitalistic society, just like we are, but even more. But like, yeah, like they have all kinds of stuff. And when I was on my favorite porn site, there's always this commercial on where like you see like this like orc like having sex with like Snow White, and you're like, be anything you want, fuck any way you want to fuck, no rules, blah blah blah. And I'm like, what kind of sick fucks are into this shit? Because like I'm not even ready for it. Yeah, I'm ready, but I'm not ready. You know what I mean? Like I want it, but I know that once I'm in, I'm never coming out. So that's why I'm not ready. You know what I'm saying? So like,
sounds like you want to have sex with like a cyborg or robot.
I'm just telling you,
so
this stuff's
shit.
coming down the road, and if that's the case, it could be.
It'll solve a lot of things for men who are incels too that can't get laid. Like, because there's a lot of discrimination towards guys that can't get any. Like,
well, because like I don't
good-looking girls don't. They discriminate against them because
we'll talk about it on like a ladder episode, but like there's a lot of UFO abductions that seem to be based on semen extraction and ovary. like there's sexual stuff going on to these people on the UFOs, and that's jiving with what Mac is talking about. So like you got to add up all the things and try to figure out what the motives are, but like we just don't know everything.
Yeah.
So anyways, until then, hope you liked this week's episode, guys, girls, vermins, I don't know what any alien species out there that are picking this up on the airwaves that don't have a guy and a girl thing going on. I hope you like our show. Don't ray gun us and rape us. Give us some cool sex robots, and we will give you
all the natural resources you want.
Whatever you want. You want some wood? Oil,
gold,
water, gold. We'll give you whatever you want.
HBO
Just give us these robots, and we'll be your slaves. Good luck and good night.